tonight's Marysville City Council meeting of May the 28th to order. If we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and stay standing for the invocation. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we ask you to guide us throughout this meeting as we seek to make decisions for the good of the city of Marysville and its citizens. Amen. Roll call, please.
Dennis Taylor.
Present.
Jeff Rhodes. Present. Scott Ross.
Present.
J.R. Wells.
Here.
Alan Seymour. Mark Green.
Here.
Hank Burger.
Here.
You should have in your packet the minutes from the May 13th meeting. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections that need to be noted?
Move to approve that.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Before we get to the administrative report, we do have a proclamation. Whereas the Vintage Motor Car Club of America was established in 1938 when 12 men met in Boston, Massachusetts and formulated plans for the club. And whereas the club has grown to international stature today with 3,000 members throughout the world. And whereas the purpose of the Vintage Motor Car Club of America is to encourage preservation, restoration, and use of antique and historically significant automobiles. And whereas their specialty is touring events, allowing people to see, hear, and enjoy old cars driving on the highways. And whereas the Vintage Motor Car Club of America 2019 Spring Tour will be through the back roads of Union County, Ohio. And whereas this tour will include cars up to and including 1908 and 1- and 2-cylinder steam and electric cars up to and including 1915 models. And whereas this tour will be arriving in Marysville on June the 9th, 2019, and will include visits to West Liberty, Urbana, and Honda of America. Now therefore, I, J.R. Roush, Mayor of the City of Marysville, on behalf of a hospitable community, want to make this opportunity to welcome the Vintage Motor Car Club of America's 1- and 2-cylinder tour, hereby recognizing June 9th through the 13th, 2019 as Vintage Motor Car Club of America Week in Marysville, and urge all citizens to join in welcoming the tour. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of the City of Marysville to be here to affix this 28th day of Marysville, or of May 2019. So that will be sent to them. And if you're around next week, enjoy it. Administrative report, Mr. Emery.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Briefly, I'll go through a couple things here tonight, and again, it's the busy time. So in events and recreation, we have Touch a Truck coming up. It takes place this Friday, May 31st at Mill Valley Park Central from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's always been a very popular event. There will be non-perishable food items will be accepted at the event to help stuff a truck. Items will be donated to the Marysville Food Pantry. But that event at Mill Valley Park Central has been unbelievably popular. And of course, we bring a lot of our equipment, personnel out to the site, allow the kids to kind of have a first-hand experience with some of the items that we're using to serve our citizens on a daily basis. So that's this Friday, May 31st from 10 a.m. to 1. And then again, it just seems like we just finished having an Up-Down Friday night event, but our next one is coming up quick. Our Wine and Jazz Fest will be held Friday, June 7th at Partners Park from 6 to 10 p.m. Music by Dave Powers Trio, and it's presented by Edward Jones. So have that on your calendar, Friday, June 7th. And then the next day, Movie in the Park will be held at Mill Valley Park South on Saturday, June 8th. The movie starts at dusk, and it's featuring the movie Ralph Breaks the Internet. So that will be the movie on June 8th at Mill Valley Park South. I'm going to shift down the mic for public service items.
Thanks, Terry. I want to give an update on the former Clark Station, gas station remediation project. Topsoil has been placed at the site. The contractor is currently waiting for it to dry, and they're going to fine grade hydroseed that property. And then the fence will be removed in the next few weeks. The contractor recommended leaving it up until grass kind of started getting established, so we like that idea. Mosquito spraying starts on Wednesday this week. Mosquito spraying is something we do along the trails for most of our major park areas. And we do it every Wednesday night, weather permitting. If it does rain, sometimes we'll do it on a Thursday. And we do that at night. We come in and spray at night between 10 and 3 a.m. So that is something we're going to start doing this week, and we'll continue to do it throughout the summer months. That's all I have. I'll turn it over to Jeremy for an engineering update.
All right, thanks, Mike. I've got some construction updates on the various projects that we have going on. West 5th Street improvements, the southern curb is expected to be started this week. Out at Cooks Boulevard, the sidewalk installation is complete as of at least Thursday or Friday last week. Out at Plum Street, the box culvert is expected to be set sometime later this week. We're thinking Thursday right now. Out at Morey Park, irrigation and electric conduit is being installed this week, and they're really kind of moving very fast now that we got all the gravel and the asphalt out of there. And then finally, 2019 paving program, the concrete work is expected to start on that next week. So I know Mark was out laying out some curb ramps and marking where all the concrete replacement is going to occur within the scope of that project. So I'll be happy to entertain any questions that you have.
You know, I will be bringing Amanda Morris up here for an announcement for the bicentennial coming up this summer. Are there any questions for any of the staff before Amanda gets into her announcement? Okay, no questions?
Actually, before she does, Chief Riley, with last night's weather and the sirens going off, could you talk a little bit about the sirens and that it's geared for if you're outside and the length, and we don't have an all-clear siren and just...
We don't. The sirens go off, and they're intended for those that are out using park space. They wouldn't be inside, they wouldn't have access to a weather radio. They will go off every 7 minutes until the warning has expired. Last night they had a warning, and then it was extended, so the sirens kept going off. So that's why they kept going off. We were really fortunate we didn't have a tornado like Salina and Dayton and places like that. We did have some weather events that we ended up going out on houses that got struck by lightning.
So if you're lucky enough to be in the house and able to hear it, that's terrific, but understand that that's not what the sirens are there
They're really meant for if you're outside using park space, that the sirens will notify you. In your home, you should always pay attention to obviously TV, radio, or a weather radio will work.
Thanks.
Yeah, so naturally we are excited about this being our 200th year, and we wanted to unveil our headliner for the festivities this year. There we go. Yeah. All right, so Friday night, August 16th, we will have some of our local favorites, Steve Baumgartner, Haddon Sayers Band, and McGuffey Lane entertainment on that evening. For the whole weekend, we will have several food vendors. The Historical Society has agreed to be open, and we are looking at securing carriage rides to get you down there, as well as naturally, it's just a block and a half away, which makes it really nice for that event. And then Friday, we'll have a car show component, as well as a lot of fun kids zone activities, and we'll be able to go into more detail with that layout as we get closer to the event. But leading us into Saturday, Saturday will be our big day. We will have the Uptown completely filled with, this is our band lineup, so our ultimate goal today, we have Second Story Acoustic, J.R. Hunter and Crossfire, Gentlemen of the Road, The Hook, The Groove, John Gurney, and then Runaway June. And so a little bit about Runaway June. We wanted to mention they are actually opening this summer for Carrie Underwood, and they are up and coming similar to a Dixie Chicks. So they're a trio that has some really great music. We wanted to kind of share a little bit with you guys tonight. And then John Gurney was the recommendation from the group to open. So I'm going to take a tidbit of it. You can play the whole song if you want. This is one of their first hits. Is it, can you hear it?
If you don't love somebody, yeah, you better love somebody who ruins your lipstick.
So So the tallest one of my favorite tidbits about this band is the granddaughter of John Dean, the Duke.
Tears rolling down your face. It's all crashing down, you can't look again, 'cause nobody can take its place. Well, I've been there, we've all been there.
So that's a little bit of them. I have a few, obviously you guys can Google them online and see more about that, but we wanted to kind of share that tonight. Part of us doing an actual contract with a national band is to have a formal sort of ta-da moment and sharing that with the community. And so you'll see a lot more information as we go. Is there any questions? No? Good. Makes my job easier. All right, so that's all I have.
That concludes our report.
Any other questions?
Is it worth commenting on the 10th, August 10th?
I'm sorry.
August 10th, you mind?
Yeah, give us the
So,
rundown.
August, obviously the city's official foundation day is August 10th, a work day. We're hoping to install the historical marker that morning. The Farmers Market Festival takes place that day as well, so it'll be kind of a nice partnership with that event, as well as unveiling our city's flag and some of the other festivities. Maybe we'll have some cake and ice cream. But then that particular weekend is the Balloon Festival weekend. So we want to be kind of partner in all of that fun activities for then. And then the following weekend will be so it's like a week-long party.
Any other questions of administration? Thanks, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you.
Report of clerk of council.
No,
Parks and Rec report. Mr. Reeves.
We met last week at the pool, toured the pool, looked at the improvements that were made over the winter. Some big improvements as far as the appearance of the building, interior, new flooring, made a huge difference. The concession stand, big improvement there as well. So, I think it was a nice improvement for not a whole lot of money. We were all pretty happy with that. And then the other item that we spent the rest of the time talking about was the draft of our 5-year capital plan. We reviewed that, made some adjustments to it, and we'll come back together next month to finalize that.
Any questions of Mr. Reeves? And did I hear right, approximately 1,000 customers?
We had an extremely busy weekend. We had a great day today again as well that I heard a little bit earlier. So it's been a really good start at the pool. And of course, we just want to keep the hot weather here. And that's what entices people to go to the pool. So there you go.
Planning Commission report. Mr. Todd.
Good evening, council members. I'm actually doing the planning commission and the DRB report. Unfortunately, Mr. was answering the 10th tonight. Back on May 6th, the planning commission went over 2 new business agenda items. One was vote on rules of procedure for 2019, that was passed. And then the second one was a new planned unit development for development plan approval for Kenmore Places. The actual parcel is located behind Myers. They everything they need to submit to engineering, and they have not given us a timeline when they'll be coming to council for their PUD review. Any questions on that?
Any questions? What was the votes?
It was 3-1.
Yes.
Are they still looking at 3 stories, or have they added it down?
Yes, it'll be 3 stories, and they have they did check with the airport and the actual ODOT for transportation. They're their actual buildings. They are proposed for 3 stories.
Okay, that does not give any restriction to the airport.
No, it does not.
Initially, there's no like comment on that.
Yes.
Like 3 stories.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Todd, your dissenting vote, did they give a rationale for where the no vote was?
One board member said that it wasn't part of the comprehensive plan. That's what his reason was.
Thank you.
Anything else on the Planning Commission report? Design Review Board, please.
Design Review Board met on May 8th. They have an old business that the votes on was received just on the administrative error on that. The new business was for 302 East 5th Street for a new business going in for an actual historical district signage.
They did approve it with conditions, just a more traditional look. That was approved 5-2. The second agenda item was 1000 Delaware Avenue. This is for the Florence Fuel Center where the Sunbelt rental is now located at. That was tabled. There was a couple of items on that. One was for vehicular access to Delaware Avenue and some design modifications, and they are coming back on the next meeting from there. The third one was 15701 US Highway 36, the Wendy's that is located out front there. They're looking to rebrand their restaurant as it was on Fifth Avenue. That was also approved 7-0 with conditions on some design modifications also. The fourth one, we also had a certificate of appropriateness for the technical work of the Elks. That was a 7-0. They were looking to redo their facade on the exterior. That with new colors, windows, and it's going to definitely feel that it's definitely going to look really good when it's all said and done. The next one was 124 East 4th Street, and that was the Rock Church of Marysville. They were looking to redo the windows when they were armory building. And actually that was tabled because the board would like to decide when to look at more colors and more design options for that. And that's all we have for that. Any questions?
Mr. Taylor.
To go back to the Thornton's, did the concept of entrance and exit get addressed as far as using the side street? I know there was an issue with the neighbor's yard damage. Now I went out the next, they definitely have a valid point.
Yeah, they do have a valid point. Actually, Thornton's will actually be widening part of their side of the road also for that access. So but they also did state on that meeting that any fuel trucks will actually be coming in and out of Lydia Drive to address that issue.
And then you were plenty good on as far as clearance, making the turn and everything. Thank you.
Mr. Bourbon.
Yeah, the last item I had was the OMG, that you were referring to the ones that want to do the windows. Now, I know that they've been doing quite a bit of work as far as masonry, the windows. And is there a future plan for the building yet that we know of? Or are they just making sure that the integrity of the building does not deteriorate?
Yeah, so what they're doing is general maintenance on the exterior. They're not changing any of the actual facade itself. They're just platforming brick, concrete stairs. The windows is something they are got facade grant approval on, and that's something that they want to do. They want to make sure that they keep with the historical significance of the building. Back in the day, armories had brick and then green windows on that, so they were looking to bring in white, whatever the board decided to look at other color options.
So their purpose at this point is to try to shore up the building and make sure that it does not fall into this defect. And otherwise they have not given us any indication what they intend to do with the building.
Not this time.
Okay, thank you.
I think they're planning on putting their church back there.
Okay,
I mean, that's what they've told me.
I mean, like I said, they were still active as a church, but there are always open options.
My information is correct, it was the way the line is building.
Yes, first built in 1913.
So it was the first National Guard building in Ohio, so definitely we're glad to see them continue to keep it compounding in this. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Todd. Finance Committee report, Mr. Taylor.
Meeting we met last week, nothing out of the norm from a monthly as far as where we are year to date. A couple of the numbers are a little off sync, if that deals because of the payment that received in January compared to the year prior to. But I believe that when you come into your June meeting, your second meeting in June, you'll get a more realistic 6 months where we're at as far as comparison with income taxes. Nothing, I believe, that's alarming concerns. Justin, anything that you can think of? Hank? No, Mark? Basically, we welcome anybody to come to finance and see what's going on. It's your money, it's our money, and let's make sure we always know what's going on. Thank you.
Any questions of Mr. Taylor? Thank you. We're to the point of the evening called Hearing of Citizens. Any citizen of Marysville wishing to speak for up to 5 minutes may have the floor. Are there any citizens wishing to speak?
A question about that?
Is it on an agenda item for tonight? Nope, come on up, Pastor Barry.
Hi, my name is Barry Scott. I live on Scott Martin Boulevard. I had a question about the path, the Jim Simmons Trail, as from the old part of Schwarzkopf Park before it was extended. From that point past the bridge, it's really in very bad condition. Deep ruts, and I've been watching the paper and I haven't heard anything about what plans are in the works to get that repaved. I run it every day, and it's getting hazardous. When they worked on the part that goes back, I don't know what that part is called, did a really nice job on that, but the machinery tore up the asphalt. It's in bad condition. I didn't know if anybody could point me in the right direction where I could get information.
We're fixing it piece by piece. We're actually this year working on the section that goes underneath 33. So that section is going to get replaced. The problem is that we need to fix it under 33 and then work our way back to the park. Otherwise, you're just going to be driving over the new pavement that you just fixed. So we're kind of working our way from the underpass or going underneath 33 is the worst section on the whole section of trail, and we're working our way back. But the section that you're talking about is just north of the Schwarzkopf Park.
Yeah, where the baseball diamonds are, and then you get to the park.
Soccer fields.
Where the soccer fields are,
Right.
as you go down to where the trees are, that's where it gets really hazardous. It's nice that you're getting the part up there by the bridge done, but that's a part I don't often get to. I don't run that far. So.
Okay. That's our most complaints come from underneath the bridge, and then so we're kind of starting there, and we're working on
Do we know what the timeline is?
Well, we're doing the section under the bridge this year. We could make some temporary repairs to the section you're talking about if it's isolated, but if it's a long stretch of poor pavement, I would say that would happen in the next
If you
year.
haven't been down lately, I would invite you to take a walk down there and see how bad it is.
Okay, I'll definitely walk it, look for it. I've walked that section quite a bit this year, but I'll make sure that I look for anything that we can temporarily repair.
Okay.
But as far as a long-term repair, we're working from the bridge toward Schwarzkopf.
Okay, thank you.
Any other hearings or any other citizens wishing to speak? We do have consent legislation for this evening. It would be the first piece of legislation on the agenda to strongly urge the Ohio Governor and members of the Ohio General Assembly to restore the local government fund to pre-recession levels. This was a request from the Ohio Municipal League, and because of the timing of hearings at the Senate level, they asked that we do this rather quickly instead of waiting a couple of weeks for the next meeting. So could I get a motion to approve adding the consent legislation?
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Groves? Yes. Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Roush?
Yes.
Mr. Seymour?
Yes.
Mr. Reams?
Yes.
Mr. Burby?
Yes.
7 yes.
So now that we've added it, we get to talk about it again. To strongly urge the Ohio Governor and members of the Ohio General Assembly to restore the local government fund to pre-recession levels. And as you probably can see in the resolution, in a 6-year period, that affected us by about $1.18 million. So it had a pretty significant impact on us, and we're just asking them to strongly look at that as they go through their negotiations. Anything from administration?
Nothing further.
Council comments?
Mr. Chairman, it's a logical move to let them know that we want it replaced, and we're foolish not to join with the rest of them. So after the citizens' comments, I gladly welcome to move this motion.
Any citizens? I would take that motion to pass the legislation, Mr. Taylor. Say so moved.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Groves? Yes. Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Roush?
Yes.
Mr. Seymour?
Yes.
Mr. Reams?
Yes.
Mr. Burby? Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
7 yes.
The second resolution is to approve the naming of parkland to be known as Maury Park here right adjacent to the hospital. We saw this in the work session back in April. This went to the Parks and Rec meeting just here recently and was unanimously voted on that the name Maury Park worked well with the rest of the park system. Anything from administration?
Just that this is strongly supported by the hospital as well, the naming of this park. We really appreciate it. And with their support, the commitment that they've made to that property, I think that takes a lot for them to ask for something along these lines.
Any council comments?
Mr. McGettigan, so will it have the same identical signage that we have in all the other?
Yes, ultimately it will. Will it initially, Mike, will it have the same type of signage early on, or will it be coming?
I think it's coming.
Okay.
We'll look and see how the budget's falling and see if we can obviously try to speed that
Whether
up.
it's this year or next year,
Yes.
the signage is going to be similar to that of all the other projects.
Absolutely.
The signage that we put in, that I think that the hospital is going to go a step further and put a little information about Dana Mori on
Yeah,
on the
there will be a separate location that describes the impact that Dana Mori has had on Memorial Hospital over the years.
Hopefully we can keep everything consistent because
We will.
we worked on that now for about 3 or 4 years and it sets the tone for all.
You can count on that. We're going to continue to do that.
Any citizens' comments? I'd take a motion to pass the legislation.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Roush?
Yes.
Mr. Seymour?
Yes.
Mr. Reeves?
Yes.
Mr. Burby?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Groves? Yes. 7 yes.
To the ordinances section, second reading, public hearing to amend the capital improvement plan for the Parkland Development Fund, Fund 410, and modify the 2019 annual budget. Administration?
Nothing further unless there's any questions.
Council? Citizens' comments? This will be back for third reading, title only, on June the 10th, 2019. Second reading, public hearing to authorize supplemental appropriations for the City Events and Recreation Fund, Fund 408, and modify the 2019 annual budget. Administration?
Nothing further, again, unless there's questions.
Should mention this one is for the iceless ice skating.
On behalf of Finance, we know we'll be looking for sponsorships along the way. Mr. President, regardless, we feel it's a worthwhile expense.
Any other council comments? Citizens' comments? This will be back for third reading, title only, on June the 10th, 2019. Second reading, public hearing to authorize supplemental appropriations for the 2019 paving maintenance program and modify the 2019 annual budget. Administration?
Nothing further.
Council comments? Citizens' comments? This will be back for third reading, title only, on June the 10th, 2019. Second reading, public hearing to amend policy 515, sick leave of the city policy manual. Administration?
Only that if council is comfortable, I'd like to request third reading.
Any council comments? Citizens' comments?
Mr. Chairman, I move to waive third reading on this issue.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Roush?
Yes.
Mr. Seymour?
Yes.
Mr. Reeves?
Yes.
Mr. Burby?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Groves? Yes. Mr. Brock?
Yes.
7 yes.
Mr. Chairman, I move to pass the legislation before us.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Seymour?
Yes.
Mr. Reeves?
Yes.
Mr. Burby?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Groves? Yes. Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Roush?
Yes.
7 yes.
Second reading, public hearing to adopt a policy for the use of credit cards, policy 626 of the City of Marysville Policy Manual. Administration?
Just as we discussed this at the work session, and if council is comfortable, again, this would be an item because of the need to update this area, a request for possible waiver of third reading.
Mr. President, I'll call for the way to read.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Reeves?
Yes.
Mr. Burby?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Groves? Yes. Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Roush?
Yes.
Mr. Seymour?
Yes.
7 yes.
So are there any other council comments? Citizens' comments? Take a motion to pass the legislation.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Burby?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Groves? Yes. Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Roush?
Yes.
Mr. Seymour?
Yes.
Mr. Reeves?
Yes.
7 yes.
Second reading, public hearing to accept the dedication of a drainage easement from Quantum Technologies and Services, Inc. for the Columbus Avenue Stormwater Improvement Project. We waived the third reading back the last meeting in May. Are there any additional comments from administration?
Just a question on the timing of this project. So the next 6 items or so are related to this. The what's the schedule as far as starting on